So now to the northwest, Rustenburg to be specific, where communities have raised concern about a lack of care by Impala Platinum Mine. They claim that for years the company has been failing to address some of challenges raised by locals. Newzroom Afrika's Ziniko Mhlaba is following developments there for us. And Ziniko, are you standing by to tell us about some of those concerns?
Yes, to select some of those concerns have to do with issues of service delivery within the communities. Remember that mining companies have those responsibilities in which they need to give back to the community, to the communities in and around their mining operations of those specific mines. So Rustenburg has several mining companies. I'm talking about lament, I'm talking about Sibanye, I'm talking about Impala itself. So community members in and around Rustenburg are saying that nothing, that's tangible has been done by most of these major international communities within their communities, and also mentioning the fact that it's very difficult for them to get an audience when it comes to trying to reach out so that there can be conversations about those frustrations. Earlier on in the morning, we were in one of the informal settlements. One gentleman told us that even when it comes to employment, they are not involved, they are not aware about that, they are not aware in terms of how recruitment processes go about in terms of trying to recruit people from these local communities. And then about 10 p.m. or so, we spoke to a civic organization in Sanko that talked to us about, having to use extraordinary measures such as threatening the mine. And I'm talking about the Impala company right now in terms of for them to be able to get audience, but also revealing very shocking information stating the fact that, when it comes to getting access to information that relates to matters of that tragedy that took place earlier this week on Monday, it was very, very difficult. But also the parliamentary chairperson of Mineral Resources did allude to the fact that actually it doesn't seem as if the company has been transparent in terms of sharing information with relevant stakeholders. You remember that a preliminary report has not been issued yet in terms of getting a sense of what is it that the company is working on, what information has the company managed to gather in terms of what might have caused that incident. Remember that the company today resumed operations in some shaft in and around the Impala Platinum Belt when it comes to their operations, which were suspended following that tragedy on Monday. However, we know that Shaft C has not resumed operations. So what we'll do then in the next hour or so, we've reached out to the mayor of the district municipality, which is a council responsible for ensuring that all the stakeholders that are operating within the Rustenburg vicinity are working efficiently and are able to hold each other accountable. So we'll put some of those concerns raised by citizens and some organizations to the mayor, but also try to get a sense of how is the relationship between the executive of this municipality, especially this town, Rustenburg, is with mining companies, and if they really know about, if they've received any form of report from the mining company in terms of what might have caused that incident. We also know from the guests we spoke to the last time we were on air, who said that they've been given information which suggests that the numbers of people who have died or who have reportedly have died in that tragedy is not necessarily 12 as far as they're concerned. He's making estimation that it is likely to be, the death toll to be at about 16 or even more. So we'll also try to put that question to the mayor, because that gentleman we spoke to said they have that information as the council. And when you talk about council, you are talking about the executive, which I believe the mayor is part of as the head of that executive. So she might, or she is likely to also have some information. So that's when we'll test those allegations in terms of discrepancies in terms of the reported numbers. So that's the situation here. So we'll have that interview with the mayor in the next hour or so to do.
Ziniko Mhlaba, thank you very much for that report.